My name is Isha. Today I am making this video to implement the loading of data from AWS S3 bucket into Snowflake. So there are two ways. One is using the storage integration, and the second one is using the IAM user one. So today we are going to do this by using the IAM user configuration, and for the storage integration one, that we can do in the next video. So let's start. All right, so we are having the below steps which we need to perform. So the very first thing is that we have to create the S3 bucket. And before like starting all these things, I would like to say this video is for those people who are having some basic knowledge about Snowflake, little bit like what is stage, the objects on Snowflake, like that. And we will create one more video for actually telling what is stage, why we are using those things. So yeah. All right, so let's start now. So first we have to create the S3 bucket, and then we have to create the IAM policy on AWS, and then these are the below actions which we need to like attach with the policy. Then we have to create the IAM user. We have to attach the policy which we have created here on the IAM user. Then we have to generate the credentials, and we have to use that in the Snowflake. Then we are going to use the stage in the Snowflake. We are going to create that first, the external stage, and then we are going to copy that stage data into the Snowflake table. So this is how we can load the data from the AWS S3 bucket into the Snowflake. Okay, we can start now. So this is our AWS. So very first thing what we need to do is we have to create the S3 bucket. So we can just simply go in the search box and we can just type S3, like if you're starting from the beginning. Okay, so we can just click on the bucket. Okay, I already have these two buckets. We can just create the new one. We have to give some name. We can give it as Snowflake AWS bucket. And I'm not changing any of the configuration here. Simply I'm just creating and using the by default ones. Okay, I think there's some issue. Okay, so someone is already using this bucket name, so we can like just change it. Okay, so Snowflake AWS bucket learning, or we can just give it as Snowflake AWS no Snow AWS bucket. Okay, someone is already using this one as well. I mean, the bucket name is already there on AWS, so yeah, we will have to change it. We can use as demo. Seems like no one is like has created this before. Okay, so we have just created the bucket. Okay, so now we can see it here. Okay, so it has nothing. So what we can do is okay, we can just upload one file over here. Okay, I am uploading one file here, names.csv. Alright, okay, before like going here, I can just show what names.csv is actually having. Okay, we can see it here. It is just the ID and the name. So like we are going to actually have this data in the Snowflake. We'll have the similar kind of table which will be having ID as name. So it will just take the value from this CSV file from S3 bucket to the Snowflake table. All right. Okay, so we'll just see here. We'll just upload it. Okay, our CSV file is like uploaded here. Okay, so yeah, names.csv, it is there. Okay, so now what we can do is we can now, okay, let's go to that. Okay, so S3 bucket we have created. Now we are going to create one IAM policy. Okay, so we can just go to IAM. We can just search it over from there as well. Okay, so yeah, where I'm policies is here. Okay, let's create one policy for Snowflake. We have to choose a service. We are doing it for S3, so yeah, S3, and we can give all the S3 actions as well, but the problem is if we are working for some client or we are working for some organization, we cannot just give all the actions to every user. So what we have to do is we will be having these specific actions like get bucket location. We can just like expand it and we can check from here as well, but instead we can just type it here if we know. One we is having get bucket location. Okay, it's in the read. Then we can have get object. We can have that. Then we can use object version, and then list bucket, and we can have put object and delete object. Then we can have delete object. All right, so the thing is that all these actions are describing like what that user can do, what it cannot do. So that's why we are giving all those actions in this policy. So now if we'll see, we are having this issue here. We can use the add ARNs resource bucket name. Okay, little bit will have to go. Okay, just a second. Just going to S3. We'll go to our S3 bucket. We'll use the ARN from here. Okay. Okay, because I haven't saved that, so I'll have to do it again. That's why we can just open two tabs for this, like for this AWS. Get bucket location. What else we had? Get bucket location, get object version, get object version. We have put object list bucket. List bucket. All right. Here we can just add the ARN. Okay. So we are doing it for demo. Okay, we have given the bucket name here or bucket name S3 bucket name, and it has already like automatically calculated the resource ARN here. So we are just adding the ARN and that issue is like resolved. All right. We have to give some policy name. Snowflake policy. I am. Oh, it would be opposite. We can give it like that. Policy. Okay. Create policy. We can search our policy here. We have created this policy, so we can just see, we can edit that as well. So we are seeing this ARN demo here. Okay, so there's one more thing what we can do is for example, okay, see and we. Okay, so why I have done is like slash star, because okay, it means like after anything, like after in this bucket whatever it would be there, any folder, any object, it is giving the access to that particular. Okay, so if I'm just writing demo, then it is giving on the bucket, but if there is anything like after slash star, then it is giving for the completely like complete access there for all the locations in that bucket. changes. We can just see it here. Okay, so now we can just create our IAM user. First we can just check the steps as well, like the S3 bucket is done, we have created the policy, attached all those actions in that particular policy. Now we are going to create the IAM user and will be attaching this policy to that particular user here. So let's just do it. We can see the users here. Earlier we can just note that we would be able to done it from IAM role as well, but now Snowflake is not using that, so we are doing it from the user. Okay, so let's create one user here. We can give any name, IAM Snowflake user. Let's see. Okay, I'm Snowflake user. Let's see. We are attaching the policy directly from there. We'll attach our policy. IAM Snowflake policy will attach. Next. So we have created our user, IAM Snowflake user. So if we go inside that user, we'll see security credentials. We are going to create the wait just a second. We are going to use the access keys here. We can just do it like create access key. We can use any of these keys depending on the requirement. So here we are using the other create access key. Now we are using the download CSV file. The reason is because if we are go away from this page, this thing will just be removed from here. So we are just downloading that CSV file here. Okay, so we're done. So we can just see what we have done till now. So we have created the IAM user and attached the policy as well. We have generated the credentials as well. So let's see what we can do. Now we will switch to Snowflake. We'll create the table. That's table with the same ID as name as that was in the CSV file. We will create this stage. We will be using the URL as that bucket and the complete S3 URL. Then credentials, the which we have downloaded like just now, AWS key ID and the AWS secret key. So okay, let's just start with this. Okay, sorry. Okay, we have created that. Let's see the URL. For the URL, we'll go to the S3 bucket again. We'll go to our S3 bucket which we have created. We'll go here, we'll just check it. Our S3 UI. We'll just keep it here. Okay. We can just give it till here demo. We will now be just checking. Okay, we'll just go to the download ones. We'll just see the CSV keys and okay, we will be using it here, and then we will be using it. Oh, see, and we'll be using the secret key here. Well, we should not be showing it, but this is as for the example, so yeah, that's why. Let's start. We'll just create the stage. We have created this stage. We can see inside the stage here what is there. So we can see we have given the bucket name, like the URL here of that bucket. Now we can see in the stage, as we have created the stage, so we can see what is there. The name.csv file is there. Now we can see that here in the Snowflake. Now let's see. We are just using this command to copy the that CSV file data into the table which we have created above in the name. Let's see. Okay, now we can clearly see the file has been loaded, the rows has been passed as 5, and we can see it now. Let's select from the table. This is weird. Okay, sorry. The say table name is actually name, not table. Now we can see we have one Isha like as same as in the CSV file. So what we need to see here is, and what we need to remember here is, so we can see one thing when we have created this stage. This is the external stage. What external stage is? External stage is actually holding the path and the data inside that, in that stage. Like for example, what it is holding, the URL is S3 Snow AWS bucket demo, which we can see over here. This is the path, AWS S3 bucket, and that bucket name. So that is what it is holding. Now how we did the connection with the AWS user key and the secret key, the ID and the secret key. Now we can see in the file format it was the type of CSV. We can use JSON and others as well, totally depending on the requirement and the business. And we have just skipped the header as one, because if we would not have done this, it would be like ID and name would like was already there in our CSV file, ID and name. So what we have done is we have just skipped that part, so only the thing came here is like the data. This is how we can implement it, and this is one of the very good usage. And we can just make the like other we can just make another video for actually understanding about these basic things. For example, what is file format, what is the external stage, what is internal stage, what is stage exactly doing is, and all these kind of things. So it would be very helpful, I believe, for people. And thank you everyone. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.